All right, let's make welcome Pastor Casey Namani to come and show us those mistakes that we can avoid in order to maximize all our investment. Pastor Casey he's a pastor, he's a serial entrepreneur, he's a consultant, he's a real estate guru, he's several things in one. So let's put our virtual hands together as we bring him on board. You have the floor, Pastor Casey.
Okay. Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Valucop, for the opportunity. And I want to thank the whole team for giving me this opportunity to speak to us today. Sorry. I want to beg for something on time. In case maybe in the middle of my talk, you just hear anything that looks close to hallelujah, amen. I'm sorry about that. I'm a pastor, so sometimes some of these things just come up naturally. But then we'll try as much as possible so that it won't happen. Okay,
yes, sir.
I almost said amen now. Okay. Okay, before investing, when we talk about investments, there are a whole lot of views, there are a whole lot of notions everybody must have heard about investment. So many of us, we must have grown up with our own view of it. We must have actually had our own share of investment too. Maybe as a child, as a young man, as somebody that have grown to your age now. Maybe you have had your own share of what in quote you must have called investment. Maybe it didn't go well. Maybe for some others it went well. But life is all about investment at the end of the day. In fact, truth is, when the investment we are going to talk about is majorly on when it has to do with money and stock market. But then life on its own generally has more to do with investment. We got to where we are today. In fact, you are listening to this because of the investment you have decided to make in your own personal life. Maybe investment of knowledge, investment of any other thing. And the truth is, investing is something that comes with risk and reward. Investing comes with risk and reward. Like when we talk about investing in stock market, it comes with its risk and it comes with its reward. So it demands the right knowledge and information. So when you want to invest, one of the major things that should come to your mind is that investing comes with the right knowledge and information. A smart investor uses the knowledge and chooses what to invest in. So it is safer for you to go to war fully prepared so as not to lose. Most times we don't plan to lose any war. In fact, there's nobody that goes to war and wants to lose. So most times you go to war prepared. So if investing actually has any risk at all, it means you should be able to learn the way around investing before even attempting to do it in the first place. Now, risk comes from not knowing what you are doing. Most times risk comes from not knowing what you are doing. Knowledge will reduce that risk for you. Knowledge has a way of reducing risk for you. Most times, like, risk can actually come as a result of you don't know what you are doing, or you might actually know what you are doing, but then you don't know how to go about it. But then one thing knowledge always does for anybody is that it reduces risk rate for you. So when we talk about investment, one thing that should never leave anybody when it has to do with investment is knowledge. You should be knowledgeable about what you are investing in. You should know what you want to do. You should know how to go about it. Don't just be a novice in the field. In fact, most times it's safer that a very professional person handles your investment than you as a novice handles it. Most times it's just safer to just put it in the hand of a professional than just doing it yourself. Why? Because investment on its own, and in Nigeria as a whole, because when we talk about investment is general in life. But then in Nigeria, investing your stock in Nigeria as a whole demands a whole lot of knowledge. You don't just do anything. Like the rate or the level of scam in Nigeria is enough for you to know what you are doing before putting your money anywhere. Now, there are things to expect when you are investing. There are several things to expect. And one of them is when you want to invest, you must expect investing to get emotional. Expect investing to get emotional. Whenever I've said this, like in 2 different places I've talked before, and when people hear it, they are like, you expect investing to get emotional, but it's not a long thing. If you have invested before, when I start explaining, you understand what I'm saying. You know that aspect where you want to invest into something, and then, or you have invested, or let's use crypto for instance. Some coins just start going down. For some of us, it's an emotional moment, it's an emotional period. Expect it to get emotional. You don't just expect every time that your coin will be up, or your coin will keep going up, or the coin will keep being stable in a particular place and all that. You expect the worst at every point. That's part of the risk. So expect it to get emotional. But then when it gets emotional, one of the expectations, we think long term and don't panic over short term fluctuation of the market. That's one thing. You must always be a long-term thinker when it has to do with investment. That's why it's advisable. I will say it again when I want to talk about the mistakes. It's advisable you don't carry all your life and put into an investment. Investment is not supposed to be all your life savings or the money you borrow from your village people and you are using it for investment. No, you put majorly, maybe not today because there is no time for that. I would have just told you how to actually position your money when it has to do with investment. Because in positioning your money, there are certain money you don't like. There are percentages on how you handle your money. Even as a company, there's a way to handle a company's money. There's a way not to just take everything and put into just a particular thing. There are ways to put in savings too. There are other ways to actually put in investment. There are other ways to even put to charity. These are things like personally I do as a person. Now, so expect them to get emotional with it. Now, another thing to expect that investing is going to take time. Expect that investing is going to take time. Don't be that kind of person that is in a hurry to just sharp take everything. Expect that investing is going to take time. Relax. That's the right way to say it. Always learn to relax. Yeah, like some of us are these kind of people that we invest in, then especially when we know that this thing is legit, this thing is, you have knowledge of this and all that. Relax. Not all the time we after the person you have invested your money with carrying, is he rising, is he falling down, sometimes you just have to relax. Expect that it's going to take time. Expect that investing is going to take time. Expect time to sell. Expect that there's always time to sell. There's always time to sell. For instance, when it has to do with real estate, as much as we tell people buy lands and wait and hold, there are certain lands that you know that this is the right time to sell it. Most times, as a pastor, I will also say sometimes you know by the Spirit that this is the time to sell this. But then some other times by analysis, by the development going on in the place, by possible things that will come up in the place, by analysis on what development will look like in this place at this time or this, you can be able to know this is the right time to sell. Sometimes it might be when you are in need of money for your cost of living. It might be that period when the stories change. Stories of things can change at any point. So these are possible times to expect to invest. Now, there are certain mistakes we make when it has to do with investing, or like when it has to do with, even let me use for instance, it's not just concerning real estate, but then in this aspect, let me just narrow it down to real estate and then maybe use other aspect of investing as a point hold. Now, one of the things you shouldn't do, I've pointed these things out when I started, and they are, don't just invest blindly. You need knowledge and strategies. Don't just invest blindly. Somebody tells you about real estate, don't just go about it like boom, you just see any land you buy, you just see anything you buy. Maybe you have gotten the advice that real estate is going to do a whole lot in Nigeria in the next few years. You see some motivational speakers say a lot of things. Don't just boom carry every land and start buying. It's not every land that is in your village that is meant to develop. Some of them are meant to be there, like the price might even reduce with time. So you don't just carry everything and then boom, you are buying it. And then you blame the person that advised you to go for real estate and for giving you the wrong advice. So calm down, learn. There is need to go for knowledge, even when it has to do with crypto works or crypto investments. You don't just like boom every coin you just see on someone's status, you just boom and go and buy. That's why you have Valucop here, and that's why you should also give attendance to learning. Learn how to invest. Learn that particular investment you want to make. Learn it well. Don't just invest blindly. Then another mistake we make is when you think, this statement like age is just a number. You see, when it has to do with investing, age is not just a number. I know some people might have their own view on this, but then I will still say it. Age is not just a number. You see, there is a whole lot of time to be able to invest and wait. In fact, one of the things investing on time will do for you, in the right time to invest is now. One of the things investing on time will do for you is that it will actually give you the opportunity to be able to even wait. You get it? So you don't just like wait till I'm 50 or when I'm 40, when I start giving birth to children, and then I will now start investing. No, don't be in a hurry to do that like that. So you should be able to know that investing can start at any point. It can even give you that time to wait. It can give you that liberty to wait. It can give you that time to be patient, actually. Because most times why people rush into trying to put in money and then get it back immediately, because they don't even have the patience in this. Like, there is no time to even have the patience to wait. So always know that the right time to start investing is now. You don't wait till maybe every other person give their testimonial before you start investing. Get the knowledge. Once the knowledge is right, go for the investment. Now, that will lead me to, because I know there are some certain questions in your head now, like, okay, what if I have this certain amount of money and all that? That's why it will lead to the third one, when it has to do with the mistake you make before investing. Start out small and then, but think big. Most of us, it's unwise to expect to thrive in millions immediately you get into investment. You want to thrive in millions, you want to now be counting in dollars, in millions, and you are just starting. How much do you have? How much did you invest that you're expecting such a thing? Or some of you want to, like when we talk about real estate now, you talk about land. Some of you already envisaging having lands of 10 million and all that, which is a very good idea, is something to think big about. But then you don't start like that. Start small. Most of us want to start that big. Most of us have that vision to start big. But then there is an opportunity to always start small. Give attendance to that opportunity. There are lands that are strategically meant. Most land are not meant for homes or building of homes. Sometimes investors in real estate buy land to just hold for a period of time and resell. And that resell is as a result of studies, and they have seen the development that are possible to happen in that area within that period of time. And selling it after some few years we actually give you the advantage. That's why we always say, don't wait to buy land. You buy land and wait. You buy land and wait. Now, the third one I will point out is, okay, the fourth one I'm going to point out is do a diligent market research. When it has to do with real estate, what are the property values? What's the crime rate in the area? What's the average family income? What is the working class ratio? These are important things to look out for. What's the working class ratio? What's the average family income? What's the crime rate? What's the property value? You check all these things when you have to. What's the security in the area like? These are important things to look out for. Do a diligent market research. Even if you can't do it on your own, maybe you don't have that time, you have experts that you can work with. There are realtors that are experts in this field. You give them the opportunity to do that for you. And then that's why, even when it has to do with crypto, you don't just carry any coin and buy. That's why you ask somebody like Victoria now, like, what do I go for? Do I go for this coin? And then you see her teach you, this is the analysis based on this coin and the other one. Why? Because there is a proper diligent research on it. Then the last one I would just say is one property at a time. Most people, or one investment at a time. Let me just say that most people don't really know how to make the investment of going for one property at a time. Everybody, you want to buy the whole 10 plots immediately. You want to buy the whole 20 plots immediately. But then, like, there is a place of calming down. Take it one step at a time. Investment, you will be advised to invest now, but don't expect that everybody is expecting you to invest everything now. You can do it one step at a time. For instance, it's very funny. I have never said it like publicly, but then I'm going to say it today because this under Victoria's platform. The first time I ever thought of investing in crypto, in fact, my first test, because I'm somebody, if I don't understand, I have knowledge of something, I don't just invest. So basically, I invested based on trust. But funny thing is, I didn't really have enough money when I invested. In fact, the first money I invested for crypto, I think, was not more than 10,000, between 5,000 to 10,000. The first time I ever invested in crypto. And then it was like, for me, like, I wanted to just invest, at least let me try out something. And then obviously it's not the situation now. But then, like, if I have waited to carry all the millions, it's possible it will not happen. So you take your time, invest one step at a time. Don't be in a rush. Don't be in a hurry to do a lot of things. We are so much in a rush. We don't have that patience. You see, the virtue, a very important virtue for someone that is going to do well in investment is patience. Patience, you must have it as a virtue. Why? Because in the long run, you actually understand that most knowledge will bet that patience. Because if you have a knowledge of something and you know that this thing is going to actually lead to, like, is going to actually get you a whole lot of things, you will be patient enough to wait for that thing to come. So have that patience. Then that just one step at a time. Don't be in a hurry for it. So these are the major things. I don't know, I might give space for question. Maybe I'll just rush one or two questions and then I'll just close from there.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Even myself, I've learned a lot. I've really, really learned a lot. And everything you've said so far, like, is the absolute truth. I hope we've learned something so far. We can do our questions if we have anyone. We can do our questions. If we don't have any questions, that's fine. That's really fine. Thank you, Pastor KC, for your time and for all those explanations. See, there are, like I would always say, there are several, you don't just make money from just the job you do. One of the things that the rich people do, if you want to be rich, you have to think like the rich. You have to think like the rich. And one of the things that they do is to make investments. And before you start making investments, like he has been emphasizing, you have to seek knowledge. One thing we do in Nigeria a lot is how we just dive right in without finding out the how, and saving ourselves a lot of gray hairs by learning how these things really work. A typical example of how we use things in Nigeria is when we buy an electronics, we don't read the manual, we don't read the user manual, we just simply assume that we were there when the thing was made, and then we decide to start setting it up just like that. Investment is one way that we make money, but there's a right way to doing it. He has pointed out so many things that we need to pay attention to. Thank God we recorded this session. Is this one particular session that you need to listen to over and over and over again? Because every single time I see someone online lamenting over a particular major loss they made from an investment, of course, even good investments can go south. but it shouldn't take your life alongside with it. Like, I know people that have this last crypto stuff that happened. I know so many comments about suicide and all of that because people carried all their life savings to go and invest, and then the investment looked legit. It looks okay, you know. Even me, say I would have given thumbs up to that project, but then everything went south all of a sudden, and people lost millions, and so much money went away with that project. So now, the fact that some investments go south doesn't mean you shouldn't invest. But the question is, how can you invest that you position yourself to profit? And even if anything goes south, how you can recover even quickly, more quicker than anyone who went all in. So thank you, sir. Thank you, really, thank you very much. And I think someone has a question here. Okay. If you can just handle this question just quickly, and then we'll call it a day, just maybe like 1 minute. How can someone start real estate with a small amount of money, especially if you can buy a full land immediately? Is there a way for someone to do that?
Okay. I understand the question. This particular question is not strange to me. A whole lot of people have been asking the question also, and then there are people have actually helped to answer the question. You know, the thing is this: there are certain lands that you can't buy in real estate, which is true, and there are certain lands, because you don't have the money to buy the important ones or developing ones, you shouldn't actually buy too. So most times, the major thing is it depends on, first of all, how much you have. Then if you don't have up to that amount, what I will advise is make a saving scheme for yourself. Start a saving scheme, like put your money in a particular place where you know that you can save it for a period of time and be able to know this is the budget I have for this land. Fine. Then your second option is, that one is personally based on the company. It can be signed and the rest of it, which I have a scheme where people actually invest basically based on their giving, not investing to receive any ROI, that's return of investment, but they are investing to save for a land they want to buy. So that scheme can actually work for the person too, depending on the amount. We can actually take it within a period of time, within a space of time, and we check how much that can be gotten within months, and then if it's gathered, it can actually work. Then there are also companies that can actually there are companies that actually give you the space of months or months to be able to buy their land and pay up. So it depends on, also in doing that kind of one too, it also depends on what's your income every month. You don't do that kind of a thing when you are not sure of a stable income. So that kind of a thing, instead of doing it, you just go ahead and save your money on your own. Keep your money somewhere that you know that at the end of the day you can just get it and then invest. But if you can't do that one, if you have a system where you can actually consistently bring in money, my own company personally does that, and we can help. But is based on a discussion, a period of time signing and the rest. Most times, some of the people that can't meet up with it, what we do for them is that we can easily bundle their money, put it the same way we got it from them, and send it back to them. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. All right. So we had an amazing time. So what do we say to Pastor KC for bringing out his time to share these amazing tips with us? Thank you, sir. I'm really grateful. And we look forward to bringing you on board some other time in maybe some other platform. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, sir. Okay. Bye, everyone. The recording will be out before midnight, so